Okay, so if you take a look at your polyatomic chart, you'll see that ammonium is NH4 plus. So we want to copy that down exactly the way it's written, okay? NH4 plus. Sorry, give me a second. All right, so NH4 plus. Okay, that's ammonium. Okay, next we're going to be looking at oxygen's MCI. So this one's pretty simple. You just go to the periodic table, look for oxygen, and just a number on top. So what's oxygen's MCI? Yeah, -2. Okay, so we're going to be combining ammonium and oxygen's MCI, which is O2 minus. And we're just trying to figure out what compound that they're going to make. Okay, so obviously we need more ammonium. So we're going to need a total of 2. That way we can balance out the -2. So if we have 2 ammoniums, what we're going to do is when we write down our final molecule, make sure you just start off by just putting them next to each other, just like this, okay? I think that's the easiest way to do it. Just get your 2 ions, put them right next to each other. And if you need more than one, put them in parentheses like this. So since we needed 2 ammoniums, we'll put 2 ammoniums like that. Okay, that's it. All right, any questions on how we got that molecule? Okay. All right, let's write the name now for this molecule. So we're going to be taking a look at the naming rules again. So if you guys remember, the first naming rule that we learned last time is that cations, they keep their charge, or keep their name, sorry. So the cation is the positive one. So this one's ammonium, so we can just write ammonium. And then we learned last time that if we just have an anion that's only one element, like oxygen, we have to change the ending to IDE. So oxygen is the one that's a little bit different, so it's going to be oxide. So this chemical's name is ammonium oxide. So hopefully not too bad. We're going to be doing more of the naming stuff today. We're just going to be adding one more thing onto it. But it shouldn't be too bad. Okay. Any questions? Easy peasy. Okay. So let's get into the naming rules. Okay, so the last naming rule that we're going to be learning is this one. So if you guys can flip over your handout to the naming rules, just so you can see this a little bit better. Now, we've been talking about how cations, they keep their name, right? Regardless of the charge, it's super easy. We just write down the name that they have. Okay, now if you guys take a look at the middle of the periodic table, though, so if we take a look at the middle right here, you're going to notice that these guys do not have an MCI, right? This is the part that we skipped. They don't have an MCI. So if you have an element from this middle section right here, you're going to have to change up, or you're going to have to do one extra thing for the naming, okay? So if you have a element from the middle of the periodic table, you have to put the positive charge indicated with a Roman numeral in parentheses. So for example, Fe can be +2 or +3. So if you have an Fe +2, you have to write iron and then Roman numerals 2. If you have iron +3, you put iron 3. Okay, that's pretty much it. That's the only addition that you have to make. So just to kind of summarize, if you have an element from this middle section of the periodic table, you just have to put the charge in parentheses, okay? And I'll give you guys Roman numerals if you're not comfortable with that. 1 is this, 2 is this, 3 is this, 4 is a little bit weird, it's IV, and then 5 is V. And you shouldn't get anything higher than 5, okay? So that's 1, that's 2, that's 3, that's 4, and that's 5. So if you don't know the Roman numerals, there's your little 101 on it. We'll only count up to 5 though, okay? So you're going to have to calculate it. So I'll show you in the problems. Either they're given to you like this, or there'll be a way for you to calculate it out, okay? All right, so let's jump right into the first problem. So let's go into this one right here. AU plus and Cl's MCI. So obviously right here, we're going to have AU plus as our first ion, and that's given to us. All right, and then we're reacting that with Cl's MCI. So take a second, look at your periodic table, and just jot down real quick. I'll give you guys like 15 seconds to write down Cl's MCI next to it. Okay, so for CL, you should see that CL is in the -1 column right here. So it's going to be -1. Okay, so this is a very simple compound to make. It's already balanced. So you just write AU, CL, and you're all done. All right, now we're gonna write the name. Now if you guys take a look at AU on the periodic table, AU is in this middle section right here. So we got to do the new naming rule. So for AU, we're gonna write the charge in parentheses. So AU's name, what's AU's real name? Gold, yeah, gold. And then the charge is +1, so we just put parentheses, and you can do 1. And Cl is chlorine, but then the same thing, we just change the ending to IDE. So this one is gold 1 chloride. There you go. It's just like that. Pretty much the same thing that we've been doing. We just need to put the parentheses if the element is from the middle of the periodic table. Okay. All right, do you guys think you could try one on your own? Okay, I'll give you guys about 3 minutes. Try number 2. You got Ti4+ and cyanide reacting. Okay, take about 3 minutes to try that. Okay, so you should see that Ti is 4+, so that's going to be our cation, Ti4+. And then we got cyanide. Cyanide is a polyatomic ion, so if we go on our chart, you should see that cyanide is Cn-. So we're going to write Cn-. Okay, and so if you guys take a look at it, you should be able to tell that you need 4 cyanides in order to balance out 1 of the Ti's. And so we're going to have Ti, and then we got to put cyanide in parentheses 4. Okay, so that should be what your structure looks like. Okay, let's do the name now. So if you guys looked up Ti on your periodic table, you should see that Ti is titanium. Okay, so we're going to write titanium. Okay, now you should notice that Ti is in the middle of the periodic table, so we got to put that 4 next to it for the charge. And then the anion is cyanide. So there you go. That's going to be your name. Okay. Okay, so if you guys notice, it's again same thing that we've been doing. The cation's name is titanium. That's where we get this. Since it's in the middle of the periodic table, we got to write the charge down. That's where we get this parentheses. And then cyanide comes from right here. And since it's a polyatomic, you don't need to change the ending to IDE. This already has an IDE, so you can't change it to IDE again. Cyanide IDE. Okay, you guys ready to move on to the next thing? The last thing? Okay. Alrighty. So we've been doing writing the formulas with the ions that we have. Now we're gonna be reverse engineering it, okay? So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna be figuring out the formula using the name. So hopefully not too bad. This one's a little less writing though, because we don't need to write the full equation. It's not asking us for it. But yeah, let's do number 3 and I'll have you guys try 2 on your own, okay? Okay, so we got iron 3 nitrate. Okay, now super easy. You should automatically be able to tell that our anion right here is nitrate, right? Because the name is just the way it is. Okay, so if you look up nitrate on your polyatomic chart, you should see that nitrate is NO3-. So we're gonna write NO3-. Okay, just so we know what the anion is. Okay. So that means that our cation, the other one, is going to be iron, which if you look on the periodic table is Fe. Okay. And then you'll see a 3 behind it, which means that it's going to be +3 charge. Okay, so this is all the information that we can basically take out from the name. Okay, iron is Fe +3 from this right here, and then nitrate. Okay, so from here, it's pretty easy to tell what the formula is going to be, right? Are we going to need more iron or more nitrate? Yeah, nitrate. How many do we need in total? Yeah, we're going to need 3 in total. So it's pretty much what we've been doing. And then so if they combine together, we're going to write Fe next to NO3. Since you need 3 of the nitrates, you just put parentheses around the whole thing. And you just put a 3 on the outside. And there you go. That is your final answer. Alrighty, so let's have you guys try the last one on your own. We'll go over the answer just to make sure we're all good. And then you guys can get started on your assignments. Take about 2 minutes to try out this one right here, copper 2 chloride. Find out the formula. And then we'll go over it and I'll get you started on your assignment. Okay, so copper 2 chloride. So if you take a look at your periodic table, copper is in the middle and it is not CO. I have people always put CO for copper, but it's Cu. Okay, so Cu. So copper is Cu. The charge is +2. And then obviously chloride is chlorine, which is -1. Okay. So you should be able to tell that you need 2 chlorines in order to react with the copper 2. So you're going to have Cu, Cl2. That's it. That's going to be copper 2 chloride. Yes. Yeah, that's a good question. So we use the parentheses when they don't have an MCI. So easiest way I think to think about that is you see how there's numbers on top of these columns, right? That tells you the MCI. If they're in the middle right here and they don't have these numbers, that means they can have multiple ions. And so we have to put the parentheses to specify. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, if there's no number on top of the column, so for example, the one we just did, Cu, it doesn't have a number up here. Since it doesn't have a number, we have to put parentheses. Yeah, because you'll see this later, but Cu has multiple ions. It likes to be Cu+, Cu2+, and so we just need to specify which Cu we're using. Exactly, yeah. And Cl is -1 because it has a -1 on top of the column. Yeah, so you don't need to do the parentheses. Yeah.
Wait, but if Cu had like, say you have to add, could they get?
In the formula, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, then you would have to. So you're talking about the parentheses in the formula, and then Malik's talking about the parentheses in the name. Yeah. So do it the way that we've been doing it. You only put parentheses in the name if it comes from the middle of the periodic table. Okay. Does that help clear things up a little? Kind of. Okay. So try a couple on the assignment and then we'll go over it just to make sure you're on the right track. And then, yeah, we'll double check. All right. So I'll give you guys the rest of the class period to complete that assignment. If you guys have any questions, you want to check your answers, please let me know. But yeah, we got the rest of the class period to finish.